is my kitchen. Welcome to another installment of Cooking with Silent, where today I'll be making Ponzu Punch Chicken Stir Fry. This is, as I call it, a rice bowl, a bowl of rice with stuff in it, and they are super easy to make, and I very much enjoy them. So, let's take a look at what we need today. Other than, like, a million dropped frames. Hooray! Okay, let's take a look. I've done a little bit of substitution this time around. We need chicken, jasmine rice, some mayonnaise, fry seasoning, ponzu sauce, sriracha, and a long green pepper. Normally this also has a yellow onion, but this time I've decided to use some shishito peppers. I haven't had these before. Merchant has, and he says that he likes them quite a bit. Apparently, 1 in 10 of them is really hot and spicy, whereas the other 9 are kind of mild. I've never tried them. I'm curious. I'm looking forward to it. Originally, Merchant and I were going to be cooking together for this, not actually side by side, because pandemic and we're on the other side of the country. But at the same time, we will be doing that another time, just not with this meal. We're going to figure out the logistics of that. But first, we have to figure out the logistics of this. So, step 1 is to wash and dry produce. I have already taken care of my produce again. I learned that from last time. And we are going to peel and finely chop our garlic. I, once again, am cheating with the great big jar of it. And I heat a drizzle of oil in a medium-high heat, and I add the garlic. This is actually going to be the base for our rice. Oh gosh, this is going to be annoying. Let's switch to this cam and turn it. You can see more of my messy kitchen. Here's my fruit bowl, my water, and my cup. Just ignore this mess. God, it's embarrassing. I have a small saucepan here ready to go. I'm going to put a small drizzle of oil in it. We're going to get that heating. Turn on the right burner. Come on. For some reason, my back burner doesn't like to start right away. Let's see about moving some of this stuff. That's a little better. Okay, that's fine. So we have that. Once that gets warmed up, we're going to add our garlic. We're going to let that cook about... Oh, this is great. I'm hidden behind. You don't need to see my face. There, that's even better. I feel tall. I lost my train of thought. So we're going to have the garlic in here for about 30 seconds, just enough for it to get nice and fragrant. And then we're going to stir in our rice and 1 1/4 cup of water. Then, it's rice. You cook it. We'll bring it to a boil and it will cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. And while it does its thing, we will do the rest of our thing. That's toasty. I'm going to turn it down to like medium low. Oh shit. That was all of it. Guys, I accidentally the whole thing. We're going to put a little bit of this back. It's just in olive oil. I'm not worried about it messing things up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love garlic, but there are limits. And I have to use this jar until, gosh, I'm not planning on going back to the store until next week. So that little jar is gonna have to last me. I might actually have to start cutting up the little ones that they give me, like an actual cook. All right, I am going to use my favorite here. Give that a little bit of a mix. Oh, it all fell as soon as I did that. That's how much I have. You still can't see. There's some in there. And it's warm and it smells delightful, which means it is fragrant. So I am going to add my rice. And 1 1/4 cup of water. Mix that up. And let it go. All right. Next up, we have some veggies to cut. So we're going to head back to over here. Move our sauces, seasonings, and stuff. So we have just our peppers. There's a slice in this. And I noticed that some seeds were coming out. Oh, a bunch of water just came out because I washed it. But earlier there were a bunch of seeds coming out when I did that, and I couldn't help but giggle to myself because it's a pepper shaker. Okay. So I have my little box here for my scraps that ideally I would compost. I really do want to start a compost. I haven't, but I should. I feel like if I did compost, as it stands right now, my garbage collection only comes once every 2 weeks. And even then, like, really we wouldn't need it more than like once every 3 weeks. Because we don't go through a lot of trash. First of all, there are just 2 of us. Oh, I should look to see how I'm cutting this. Dice. Okay. You know, I think I actually want to leave these a little bit bigger, now that I think about it, because the onion was originally supposed to be in like 1/2-inch wedges, so that's kind of bigger. So I am going to use the pepper to fill the long green pepper that they sent me to fill in for the slightly bigger stuff. And then I will use my little itty bitty ones here. I've kept the bag nearby so I can reference it because I keep forgetting what they're called. And even then I mispronounced it the first time. The shishito. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. I really should have looked it up before I started this. Oh! Thanks for letting me know, Slayer. I don't know why it hates when I stream from my computer. Did I call you Sly? I meant to say Slayer, but I might have said Sly. You guys are basically the same, right? I'm kidding. I know you're not. Alright, so I have those. Now let's see what these look like. Oh, they're really thin peppers. I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna cut out the ribs and the seeds. My dog is gonna bark upstairs. All right. I did say Slayer, basically. Okay. I'll take it. Slayer, basically. Slayer. I can just call you Slayer and be right every time. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I hear my rice starting to bubble a little. I'm gonna give it another mix. It's not quite boiling yet, but I'll throw the lid on anyway and set my timer. Gonna set it to 15 minutes. I'll take a peek and see how things are going. These are so small. Gonna cut it down halfways here. So I basically quartered it. And I'm just gonna do this. Should I try a little piece of this to see if this is one of the spicy ones? Slayer, have you ever had shishito? Oh my gosh, I say ooh every time. Shishito. Peppers. Shazam is what is on the Wegmans packaging. I never have. But apparently, 1 in 10 of them is very hot and spicy, and the other 9 are mild. Oh, you have had them. What do you think? Do you like them? If I don't like them, I'm going to give you the rest of this bag. Okay, I'm going to try a little piece of this. That was the first one I cut. Seems fine. No spiciness in that one. Unless it's like a slow release or something. Let's try this one. I think that one was a little bit hotter, but still not much. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know, imagining it. I wouldn't be surprised. So how are you doing tonight, Slayer? And Sly, if she's with you. Oh, hi, Aquila. Did you get a stream notification? Apparently no one got my stream notification last week. So I want to do these regularly, like every week. I'm not attached to Tuesday. Oh, you did get it. You just didn't want to come over. No, I'm kidding. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not attached to these being on Tuesdays. If a different day would work better for anyone, I am more than willing to change it up. At some point, possibly next week, Merchant and I are going to be doing a like a side-by-side cook-along. Work was very stressful. I'm sorry to hear that. Work wasn't exceptionally stressful for me today, but we did have a gem of a customer. As you guys know, I am a hand puppet massage therapist at Studio Jiggly. And every now and then, some of the puppets that come in for massages, they don't want to follow our safety protocols. And I had one come in today and insist that because he is vaccinated, he cannot spread the virus, and thusly we should let him in without a mask. Which, no, we're not going to do that. Because, first of all, that's not how vaccines work. You can still spread it. And also, you know, it's our policy. We're not going to pick and choose who is and isn't allowed to wear a mask. Just no one can be in here without a mask. Boom, done, the end. Anyway, so he told me that scientists are not real people, which was my favorite part of the conversation. But there were also other gems, like, I am a fool for listening to the science and not the CDC. Which, funny enough, is science? Anyway. So yeah, that was fun. And now we have some diced shishito not mushrooms, oh my gosh. I'm just not physically possible of saying these peppers' names correctly. And we have a roughly cut long green pepper. This is where I would actually have and peel half of the onion into half-inch wedges, but I've replaced the onion with this instead. Next step is to pat the chicken dry. The reason we pat the chicken dry, or any meat for that matter, is because it dries the skin, obviously, patting it dry. It dries it, and thus we can get a better crisp. Oh, I should turn these lights on. Does it even make a difference? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, cool. It also allows us to get a crisper skin. You had no inventory and got hit with inspection. Right? The CDC is full of scientists. That is what the CDC is. It just blew my mind. So, right now I'm cutting my packet of chicken open. I am giving it an initial drain over the sink to get rid of some of the more immediate chicken juices. And this that they sent me is chicken breast strips. So they are already cut into smallish pieces. So that makes it easy to deal with. You had no inventory and got hit with an inspection. Now, is having no inventory bad for inspection? I can't imagine, like, in some places that could be considered a good thing. Like, a car salesman that doesn't have any inventory, well, hey, that just means you sold all the cars, right? I don't know. The whole point of the CDC. The CDC is scientists. And he insisted that it was the CDC that said that he cannot spread the virus because he is now vaccinated. And he didn't believe me. I pulled up the CDC website and I read him the direct quote about how we are still unsure about the spread even from vaccinated people. And he didn't believe me. He's like, well, I can't see your screen, so I guess I just have to believe what you say, huh? Really, you should believe what they say, guy. There is no reason. Oh my gosh. I'm getting angry just thinking about it. I'm pretty sure, like, it's a good thing we were wearing masks, because I'm pretty sure one of my coworkers was actively foaming at the mouth listening to this guy. Washing the raw chicken goo off of my hands. Rice is bubbling away nicely now. Okay. What are we doing next? We have pat the chicken dry. Next, we are making our little sauce. This is fun. So our sauce this time around is going to go in a small bowl. It's going to be our 2 little packets of mayonnaise. I really, really wanted to walk away. But I knew that if I walked away, then one of my other coworkers might actually step in And first of all, I'm the manager. I should be the one dealing with it. And secondly, I don't know how calm they would have stayed. Like, one of them I know is incredibly passionate about these safety protocols, and the other one is relatively new to us. So I'm not 100% certain how she would react. But, oh my gosh, like the whole thing. I was just like, let's agree to disagree, and I'll just get you signed in for your massage. God. Yeah. Yeah. It is incredible how polarizing this entire thing has been. And I don't know. I should probably change the subject before I start getting too political or something. But what it comes down to is the studio's policy is masks must be worn inside, so masks must be worn inside. Boom, done, the end. Combine mayonnaise with 1 teaspoon of fry seasoning. Fry seasoning is garlic, onion, and paprika, by the way. It's pre-mixed for this, but if you can't find something that says fry seasoning, which makes sense because I have never heard this combination called fry seasoning before, but that's what it is. It smells pretty good. I never measure anything. We're going to call that about a teaspoon. Then we have another teaspoon of ketchup. I have my ketchup out here. Oh, you guys can't see that. I'm sorry. Okay. We have some ketchup. Not a lot. What I'm hoping is close to a teaspoon. And then a half a teaspoon of sugar. Never measure anything. That's way more than half a teaspoon. But I'm not sorry. And then I'm going to use the spoon that I used to fish out my extra garlic earlier when I dumped in way too much. Use that to stir. And this is our special spicy sauce. Hang on. Fry seasoning, mayonnaise, fry seasoning, ketchup. Oh, and sriracha to taste. Okay. I was very confused. I'm like, wait, they call this the special spicy sauce, but I don't think the fry seasoning's all that spicy, so... But no. I have a little packet of sriracha here. Normally, when I'm making this, I'll ask Dice how hot he wants it. Dice isn't feeling good today, by the way, and he got his second shot. He's Moderna. He got that today, in addition to waking up not feeling good. So that's going to be fun. Fortunately, I have tomorrow off, so I'm just going to take care of him. So yeah, I'll ask Dice how hot he wants it, and he'll give me some kind of rating. And the 1 packet of sriracha does not make it very hot, is something that I have learned. If he says that he wants, like, anything more than mild heat, I break out the big guns. But with him not feeling good today, clean him out, right? Yeah. I wonder. Gonna send him a message real quick. How hot do you want this? Is usually what I say, but more often than not, I just scream it up the stairs. Not yet for your age group. Interesting. Here in New York, it is anyone 16 and up. So, oh, maybe you just need to come here. Okay. Oh, right. Add water a teaspoon at a time until it reaches a drizzle consistency. So right now it's just a little thick. for drizzle. So I'm going to put just a little bit of water in here. It's still kind of thick for a drizzle, but I think I'm going to go with it. You found an interesting beer today. What beer did you find, and how much will I hate this one? Now, in a bowl, I'm going to put my chicken. I'm going to just pile the entire paper towel in there for a minute, because before I go too far, I'm going to turn off my timer. I'm going to take a peek at my rice. It's hard to see. Oh my gosh. Come to me. There we go. Alright. I'm going to turn off my timer. I am going to sanitize my work surface because I just had that raw chicken here. This is a sanitizing wipe. And I'm going to wash my hands. How does this rice look? Tea peach. Rooibos? Oh, that's the beer, right? Yeah, that looks fine. I am going to turn the rice off, but keep the lid on it. And just let that sit for a bit. So, let's move my sauce in a large bowl. Trying to get this chicken off my paper towel here. There are some people that use like kitchen towels to dry their chicken. And in theory, I love the idea. Because I try to be kind of, you know, environmentally conscientious. I know that just me being careful isn't going to be good enough to fix all of the damage that has been done. I'm getting political again. I'm sorry. But I like to kind of try to do my part. And if I were to use a regular kitchen towel instead of a paper towel, then it would be better for the environment. But I have two problems with it. One, there's something really, like, I feel like I have to turn off something in my brain to use a towel, like an actual towel, on raw chicken. It just seems wrong. So I have to turn off the part of my brain that says so. And the other thing is, I don't have great kitchen towels. Like, of the ones that I have, I feel like only one of them is actually absorbent, which is kind of the point of drying off chicken, so I don't want to use the seemingly non-absorbent ones. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, so I have mixed my chicken. I was talking through the whole thing, but hopefully you saw. There was a drizzle of oil, the remainder of the fry seasoning, salt and pepper. Now I'm going to heat a drizzle of oil in my pan over medium-high, and I'm going to add my peppers. So we are done with our cutting surface over here. I am going to move my tripod. I am going to switch to the other thing so you guys don't get nauseous as I move my tripod. Yeah. Yeah, there's an ick factor to using. Oh, that works out well. To using regular kitchen towels to dry off chicken, in my opinion. Okay, so now I am going to turn this on to medium high with a large drizzle of oil. They do say a non-stick pan, preferably. This has probably been through hell and back and doesn't have any of the non-stick surface left, but it probably still counts as a version of non-stick, or a version of stick, not non-stick. It's garbage. Whatever. I've had this pan for a really long time, though. I got this when Dice and I first moved into our apartment. It was non-stick ages ago. It served me well. It's the Paula Deen brand. And right about the time when she got in trouble for saying terrible things, and like Walmart was absolutely cutting ties with her completely, I needed a pan. So I got it for like 80% off. It was incredibly inexpensive. And I capitalized on her misfortune. But it's a pretty good pan. I know it probably doesn't look it now, but when I got it, let's try to do some math here. 4 years in New York, 2 years in Colorado, 2 years in the, so when I got it about 8 years ago, right? It's a cute color. It's like a bespeckled red, and my kitchen right now is red, so it's perfect. I couldn't have planned this any better. Okay, so that is nice and toasty. Let us add our green peppers and what would be onion wedges, but is just more peppers. So Merchant and I were talking about, like, cooking together. I was saying it earlier, but I don't know if that was before or after you guys got here. We were going to cook together. Obviously not side by side in the same kitchen, but like have the same ingredients, the same recipes, and stuff like that. And I don't know if we're going to be doing that next week, but one of the meals that I've ordered for next week is chicken scallopini. And, like, the last 2 weeks I've tried giving you guys a choice of what you want me to cook. However, well, the first time I didn't because the tacos were a favorite meal. So is this chicken scallopini. It's amazing. So I'm going to make that for you guys at some point. I don't know if it will be next week, but I assure you it will happen someday. We're only cooking these about 2 minutes before we add the chicken. So it won't be too bad. Oh, you go grocery shopping tomorrow. Okay. Let's plan for this. Let's plan for the chicken scallopini because I love that one. And Merchant might, if we end up doing our cooking together next week, we will do it on a different day. How do Tuesdays work for you guys? Are Tuesdays good? I should talk with him about what works best for him as well. How many are you cooking for, Slayer? I know there's you and Sly. I'm sure the baby probably eats something. Oh, she doesn't work on Tuesday. Okay, okay. Um, like I'm flexible on the day, but the time is kind of set. If I start at 6:30 Eastern, that gives me enough time to get home from work, and a good day, it would be it gives me about 45 minutes once I'm home to start getting everything ready. I don't want to go too much further than that because I've just come home from a long day at work and I want to eat. So, Akira, do you like to cook? I think I remember you saying that you love watching cooking shows. But I don't remember if you like to cook or if you even really have access to be able to. Jeez. I'm just thinking about back when I lived with my parents. I would not be able to do something like this. Much to my dismay. Sorry, I'm just thinking about, like, what would happen if I was trying. Oh, yeah, eating the cooking is my favorite part. Obviously. What would happen if I was at my parents' house trying to do an online cooking show like this and my grandmother walked in? She is largely deaf, so she would have no idea what was going on. And I would just have to, like, stop her, point her to my computer screen and point and say, look, all of my friends say hi. That would be fun. So, on a completely unrelated, it's not completely, on a mostly unrelated note, I have taken up cross stitch again. I used to do that regularly. Never anything like major, but you know, something to pass the time. So I've taken it up again. I started it up last week, actually, and I've decided that I think it might help me lose weight. And I realize that that doesn't make sense. It's cross stitch. How is cross stitch going to help you lose weight? But I have an explanation for you. On Sunday, I had the day off. The studio is closed on Sunday. So I cross-stitched pretty much all day. It was fantastic. I snuggled up with my dog on the futon, and I just started stitching, you know? And it was great. The week before on Sunday, again, I had the day off. So, since I wasn't cross-stitching yet, I baked a loaf of bread and 2 batches of cinnamon rolls. So, that is how I think cross-stitch is going to help. And yeah, keeping me busy, keeping my mind from wandering to food, and keeping me from just baking because I'm bored. This is supposed to cook for about 4 to 6 minutes. Until it's cooked through. I always click my tongs like that before removing them. Oh man, they kind of match the peppers in there perfectly. That's awesome. I always click them before putting it away just to take off any extra juice. And because I just like click with the tongs. What is your favorite thing to bake while bored, Akira? Do you have any good recipes? I have it's actually a really unusual peanut butter cookie recipe that seems to be a favorite. Cake! Really? You go all out with the cake. That's amazing. I have a favorite cake recipe. I should make that for you guys at some point. And by for you guys, I mean do it on stream, and then I get to eat it. Banana crack cake. Oh my gosh. So, once upon a time, while we were playing D&D, with Slayer, in fact, it was for his birthday, if I remember correctly, he requested a cake. Because I always bake something for my friends when it's their birthdays. So he requested a banana cake. And I found a recipe. And, it looked all well and good and everything. But it had just like banana cake and banana frosting. And that was it. And that seemed a little boring to me. So I decided between the layers, instead of doing just more banana frosting, I put a layer of peanut butter in there instead. Because, peanut butter and bananas, that's a thing. And that night, we all ate the cake, and we were insane. I have no idea what happened. I don't know what caused it. But the best guess that we could come up with is that I somehow accidentally put crack in the cake. Chocolate cake. Hand fudge. I'm not crazy about fudge. I like chocolate cake. I like chocolate ice cream. Like, baked chocolate I like. But, no, the rest of it, like, just straight up chocolate bars, there better be some peanut butter in there. Quick chocolate cake for better homes and gardens. Top it with a ganache. Oh my gosh, I found a frosting that is insanely good. And I learned that the secret to a good frosting is to whip it, like, forever. I'm pretty sure the instructions on this particular recipe is whip it for 10 minutes. And it says something like, I know that seems like a long time, but trust us, it's worth it. And it's so worth it. Yeah. I feel like ganache would be just too much chocolate for me. Like those lynched truffle things, I can't even stand the smell of those. It's terrible. Okay, so that I feel is cooked. We're ready to go. So next step, I'm going to add butter. I tried to be smart about this and have all of my bowls and everything ready. Like, the small bowl I made my sauce in, I had that right here next to me. I was ready with that. Do you think I'd get, like, the bowls that we're going to eat this from ready? Ridiculous. Come over here. Banana. Ooh, tiramisu. What is moon mist? I'm just, like, interrupting myself 700 times. as I read your comment. Adding 2 tablespoons of butter. I said last time I like Smart Balance. It's not real butter. And it's amazing. Moon Mist. I shouldn't like tiramisu, but I do. Banana, grape, and bubble gum. Is that like the Superman ice cream that everyone was raving about? That's like only one place in Michigan or something sells it? I learned there's an ice cream shop here in West New York that has an ice cream called Superhero. Okay. And I think the Superhero is that Superman knockoff. But I don't know how accurate they can be. Because I did some research on the Superman, and apparently one of the flavors is a very specific flavor. That you can only get locally. And there weren't even any descriptions of what that flavor is like. So, that seems a little annoying. You know what it reminds me of, though? When Dice and I were researching mattresses, I ended up finding the purple mattress. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what some of the reviews say. And not a single one could describe what it was like laying on it. That, like, it's very unique, is all I ever got. And it was really frustrating to me. But it had overwhelmingly positive results. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. We need a mattress. Let's go ahead and get one. So we did. I can never go back, guys. There are 2 things in my life that I've kind of become walking advertisements for. One of them is a meal delivery service like this. A meal kit delivery service. Because it's so easy. Like, all of the ingredients are sent. I don't have to do the grocery shopping. Like, it's cut down on my grocery bill. Because I pretty much only have to buy, like, some of the staples. And 2 or 3 other meals worth every week. And it's good for portion control, which is a huge problem that I have. But overall, it's just been a very positive thing for me. The other thing is the purple mattress. With this meal kit, I can send you a week of free meals. And if you like it, and if you continue the service after that, then I get credit towards my account. I don't get anything from Purple. But I still will not shut up about it because that mattress has changed my life. I love it. I love it. If you are looking for a new mattress, I highly recommend that one. We never seasoned this, did we? It doesn't say to. Oh, we seasoned the actual chicken before it went in. That's right, that's right. Okay. So, we have this ready. That... It's not a super thick sauce. I feel like it's probably supposed to be a little thicker. But I didn't actually measure my butter. I probably put too much in. But I'm going to leave that to sit for a second. I'm going to move this and bring the rice down here. Okay, beautiful. It looks like the rice and the garlic have completely separated. I mean, clearly not sponsored, because if they were sponsoring me, then I would say the name of the meal service that I'm using. Instead, if you want to try it, I need your email, and I can send you the email, and then, of course, you'll find out what it is. But I actually messaged them and asked for permission to use their name, and I haven't gotten a response yet. So, until I hear back from them, I am just going to not say it. Freshly ground pepper and salt. Ooh, it's going to be some salty rice. Not only does the recipe say to salt and pepper the rice, Babish also says it, to season every component of the food for best results. So that way no individual portion of the individual portion of the meal has to make up for the rest of it. Everything is where it needs to be. Let's move this to here. Okay. So here are my bowls. They're very shallow but wide. I really like them for things like rice bowls. Let's get a better view of them. Get that out of the way. Oh my gosh. Fighting with my tripod. Okay. There we go. You know, Babish had a cook-along stream. I don't know if he still does. I think he probably does, because he's still doing his basics videos. But I am absolutely going to, at some point. I am going to cook along with him, but I don't think I can stream his stream while I cook along. I don't know how that would end up working. So, you guys are just gonna have to take my word for it that I do it. I'll tweet pictures. Okay, so I'm dividing the rice roughly in half. It's very garlicky, which suits me just fine. Gonna use my pan to scrape off my spoon. Ooh, that's some good rice, guys. Remember, taste before you serve. All right, and now, so Akio, I'm guessing you also watch Babish? His hometown is where I live now. In case you're curious. Okay, so we're gonna dump in our chicken and pepper mixture here. Man, that's a brightly colored sauce. That's nice. Okay, so done that. Now I'm gonna pour in just a little bit more of the sauce. So that's all nice and plated. That's yummy. Okay, and now we're adding our special spicy sauce. Okay. Mm. You make a pilgrimage to the Babish Holman. Come on over. Try a plate. We have a guest room. All right. And now, the most important part, switching cameras and getting my tripod out of the way. Doop-a-doo. Just setting that over there for now. And now, we try. I can't give you a cross-section. It's a bowl of rice. There's a view of it. Is that everything? Need to make sure that's everything. Salt and pepper, shallow bowls, chicken stir fry, ponzu glaze, drizzle with special side of spice. Good. Okay, so let's get a good bite that has a little bit of everything. There we go. That sauce is really good. If you take away anything from this episode, mayonnaise, sriracha. What else was in that? A little bit of sugar, some ketchup, and the fry seasoning. Oh, God. So good. So good. So, thank you guys for joining me. We will pick this up Tuesday next week. I'll be making chicken scallopini. I can share with you, right? Oh, God, I just love food so much. I will share with you guys the recipe. Lately, I've been tweeting them. That seems to be an easy way to do it, so I'll share the ingredients. You can shop accordingly if you'd like to join me and cook along. And when Merchant and I end up doing our cook-along stream, if it doesn't end up being the chicken scallopini, then we'll let you know about that too. So yeah, that's that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye, loves.